I bought a new gadget.
Oh, tell me about this gadget.
It's one of those super fancy, like, nose irrigation things.
Okay.
Where it, like, pushes the water through your nose. Like, you have like, the clean water side and the dirty water side. And it just, like, shoots water up your nose to clean out all of the debris, as it were.
Here's why I think this is a good purchase for you.
Oh, I'm 100% sold already.
Yeah.
But please tell me why you think it's a good purchase.
You're known to have attacks of a very stuffy nose.
Yes. The
And
allergies.
that's really the only.
The allergies are allergying. And I will say I used it twice yesterday because I was playing with it and like trying to figure out how it worked and if I liked it or not. And spoiler alert, I love it. Second of all, it did help, I think. I was still a little congested this morning. But my problem recently is I've had a very itchy nose. And my nose isn't that itchy today.
Okay.
You know?
It cleared out it moisturized.
It moisturized the edge.
It moisturized
cleaned
the
it all
edge.
out. I'm like, genuinely, I'm like, what is up there? Because it will not stop. I sneeze and I'm all kinds of messed up in the nose. I should go to a doctor. I won't, but I should.
Hey, isn't that life?
Adulting.
From what I know about adults, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Is having a symptom that you should go to the doctor about
That you
and then
keep
don't.
complaining about
And then you
to
just
all of your
don't.
friends and family. And then you don't. And you don't go.
And I wish I were kidding, but this will happen to every single one of us.
Mm-hmm. It's inevitable.
It is. I'm Shelby.
I'm Sam.
This is the Rom Complex.
Romance ain't gotta be overrated or complicated. The Rom Complex. Welcome, we're glad you made it, but don't be shaded. Rom Complex. It's just the Rom Complex. It's just the Rom Complex.
It's funny that we're talking about like aging because the movie we are focusing on is very much a young look.
A
youthful look.
youthful love. You know, we've all had
love,
them.
yeah.
First loves.
Early. What was your first love?
Myself.
Yeah.
No.
Looking in the mirror like, wow, cute.
I was like,
yes.
Slay. Yeah. I said
These
that.
Claire's earrings, they are looking fantastic.
Make your eyebrows thinner. Thinner. Yeah.
That's terrifying. Much like I was thinking, like I was always afraid to shoot stuff up my nose in a medical sense, not in like a drug
I was about to
sense.
say, drugs? Question mark?
No, I had no problem with that. But like the neti pots or whatever I never used. I forgot where I was going with that.
That was when you were young, and now you're not young.
And I never plucked my eyebrows.
Oh,
I
okay.
plucked them, but never I never thinned them.
Like shaped them. Oh, yeah. I was a victim to the early 2000s. Don't worry, guys. She grew them out. You can see.
Looking fantastic now.
They're amazing.
Okay, so we're not unlike us who were in high school in the 2000s. We're talking about people who are in high school graduating now in today's movie that we are talking about.
Yes.
Heartstopper Forever.
Forever.
This is, of course, the feature-length finale of Heartstopper, the series, which, if you don't know, is a British Netflix romantic drama set in an all-boys school. It's based on a graphic novel. It's very cute. We like it. And we watched all of the episodes and covered them all on our Patreon. So if you're interested in hearing that, head on over to our Patreon.
Yeah, it'll be a little like reverse engineer situation because you're starting at the end, but it's kind of fun.
If you haven't watched the show at all, I do not know why you would watch this movie and you would be very confused because I get why they did it this way. They're like, let's get the show over. We don't have time for like a whole season of television. Let's just do it as a movie. But it's still structured like a TV show. And we're still like focused on getting the stories of all of these different characters from the TV show because each character means a lot to different fans
Mm-hmm.
because of how representative this show is of people who don't normally get represented in love stories.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had to show like where all of those characters go and end up. And it all kind of hangs on the tension and love story between our main two boys.
Our main boys.
Nick and Charlie. So as Nick is preparing to leave for college, he and Charlie, along with their whole friend group, they're grappling with the realities of distance and time and how that impacts relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But Sam, as we always ask, what is this movie about?
So many things. I think you kind of hit the nail on the head with the fact that like all of these characters mean so much to different people, but I think ultimately the show is the representation of like young queer love. And I think what this movie does is, because the show is so positive, we've talked about that on the Patreon multiple times, of like, even there are kind of like darker elements or like the elements that are maybe not so like sunshine and roses, it still always ends up happily ever after for our characters, which we love because we're not stressed out about like bad things happening to them. But I do think this movie is the encapsulation of all of those stories finally coming to an end in a way that feels true to these characters, but is also, I think, gratifying for the fans.
Yeah, totally.
It's about young love, young queer love in an age of technology. I don't know. I didn't know how to end that, really.
And little cartoon doodles, an age
And
of little
doodles.
cartoon doodles.
Yeah.
And whatever interrailing is.
Yeah, totally. Someone want to tell us what that is?
So, okay. I can guess that they're going around on railroads.
I would assume it has to do with a railroad, correct?
Okay. So, this whole thing, the story, the Heartstopper story is set in this all-boys school, right?
Mhm.
So, the main couple, Nick and Charlie, Nick is like a year older than Charlie.
Mhm.
So, Charlie's going into his senior year. And he is getting ready to give a campaign speech to get elected head boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's his senior year. Yeah, because it's one more year and then he'll...
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So he goes out there, he gives his speech, he focuses on how he's like the only openly gay person at the school, and he wants to fight against the culture of bullying at the school and make it a place where everyone feels welcome.
Yeah, which we love to see. Genuinely, though, Shelby, can you remind me where the show left off? Because I could not for the life of me. And yes, I could have just gone and rewatched the last episode before watching the movie, but I didn't do that. I was just like, where did we even end with these guys? Because it genuinely does feel like starting on a whole new page. And I was like, I don't know.
I think they so was the last season about Charlie's struggles with his eating disorder and getting through that?
I think so, yes.
So it kind of ended with them being like more solid about that. And
okay. So now he's really on his glow up journey. He's like, listen,
I'm going to use this to help people.
I kicked my eating disorder in the ass and now I'm head boy and we're going to stop bullying, which, you know, good job, Charlie.
Because like all of his friends are like putting up signs for him saying vote for Charlie and he fucking wins. He wins.
Yeah, which we love to see.
Love it. And so then we're at like a party. Next thing, there's a lot of parties in this movie. We're kind of jumping. And we're just kind of catching up with the whole gang. We've got like Tara and Darcy, and they're talking about like not knowing what they're going to do. Like Darcy knows they're going to take a gap year, but Tara doesn't know what she's going to do. Elle and Tao are like fighting, breaking up
like
again. They're like on again, off again.
Classic.
So they were like, you know, a friends to lovers type of thing that we got together in the show. But they had tension because Elle moved away to college, right? So
she went to like an art school.
Art school, yeah.
I don't think any of them are in college yet.
You're right.
Yeah, because Nick is still working to like... He still hasn't chosen his school yet. Yeah.
Yeah. So he and Charlie like run away from the party to like go like do below the belt stuff on the pier.
I was like, why is there so much sex in this movie?
There was a lot of sex in this movie, and this is not To me, I was like, I don't need this. I wish it were more fade to black. Like, I feel like they showed too much.
100% agree. Because I was just like, in the show, the kissing is like the best part because then it's like they kiss and there's those cute little motion graphic things that make it feel very special and young. And I know like there was also a plot point at some point in one of the seasons of like Charlie not knowing if he wanted to have sex with Nick. So I'm glad he's at a place where he feels comfortable and they're like having sex a lot. But it's just like, I personally, these are children. So it feels weird for me to witness it.
Right. And I think that's where it comes in, the fact that we're not actually the target demo for this show.
We should be. We're everyone's target demo, Shelby.
No, I know. But I'm like, that's where I'm like, oh, maybe a like younger person would get more out of the fact that they're having these.
I don't think so. I disagree. I do think it feels out of character for the show that we've come to love.
We've come down on the side of no sex in the Heartstopper movie.
We don't need it. In the Heartstopper cinematic universe, we don't need to watch these boys have sex. In the heated rivalry cinematic universe, I need to watch them at every second of every day having sex. So it's just
Sam has heated rivalry on the background right now.
It's literally
on. See it. It's off camera, but it's there.
I'm listening to it on my headphones. I'm not actually listening to you at all.
Yeah, you're actually responding to them. Can we just say we were watching Heated Rivalry for Sam's birthday and somehow the subtitles switched to Spanish in the middle of it, and it was maybe the funniest thing that had ever happened. Just one of those you had to be there moments.
Yeah, but that was good.
Him being like, Aki, no. We were like, wait, what?
So good. Anyway, back to Heartstopper.
Yes. Okay. So
they're getting sexy.
Frisky. And so after they have sex, Nick tells Charlie that his top choice for college is Leeds, which is kind of far away. Right. And Charlie's like, were you scared to tell me that? Like, like, it's going to be okay. Uh-huh. And Charlie's pretty good with it. The thing is, Nick is not okay.
No. And I think, like, to your point, you're right. Last season was a lot about Charlie's struggles. And, like, it was like Charlie's struggles and how his personal struggles with his eating disorder affected his relationship with Nick. And I think the movie is kind of the reverse of that, where we're seeing that Nick is struggling to, like, he's struggling with his identity. He's struggling with who he is as a person. And so we kind of see that later on when he is trying to like write his personal statement for college. He doesn't really know who he is. He only really knows who he is in relation to other people, right? Like he knows that he's Charlie's boyfriend and he knows that he's his shitty French dad's son who has like certain expectations, right? And so he's just like kind of struggling with who he is to himself, really.
And what he feels. And he talks about this later. And let me just say, I related to Nick so much in this movie. Really great. And like all of it, the fact that he doesn't know really what he wants or who he is on his own, of course, has to do with his dad and how he's just been the guy who's like all right all the time. Like he's got to put on the good, happy face. So he's struggling with that. And his brother is in town. Ugh. Which, remember, his brother was kind of a, like, homophobic dickwad.
Piece of shit.
But he's back. Seems a little, I don't know.
Yeah. Making Nick uncomfortable, for sure.
Right. So Charlie, picking up on the fact that Nick is having trouble writing this statement, he's like, well, why don't you like get a hobby or a job outside of school? Like have something that's outside of me that's just for you. And that'll help you see how wonderful you are. Which is just so sweet. Like Charlie is so supportive of him during this.
It's really cute. We love to see it. And I think, yes, Charlie is so cute and supportive through all of this. But I think even that is making Nick struggle because part of his identity is I help Charlie. And so when Charlie helps him, he's like,
he's like, no, I'm not supposed to be helped. No, I'm not supposed to need help.
I'm the helper. I'm not the helpee. Yeah.
Right.
And so he's struggling. But he ends up getting a job at like a dog shelter, which is so perfect for Nick.
Yeah.
If you know Nick like we do, it's like the perfect job.
He's really good at it.
And he's fucking killing it, man. Like he
Yeah.
really does. He's like playing with the dogs and feeding them and cleaning up after them. And, you know, he has 2 dogs of his own. So it's a natural fit for that boy.
But before he really like kind of harnesses that, there's this night. Well, first, Charlie is trying to start a pride club at school. And the principal is like, no, we can't. If we start a social club like this, it like just sets a precedent, blah, 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 whatever bullshit. And so
Homophobic.
Charlie is playing drums in a band for Sahar, I think is her name.
Yes.
And while they're playing, Nick gets very drunk. Like overly drunk, shots after shots.
Yes. Because he sees his brother at the bar and
Yeah.
he's just like, I can't be openly
Deal
gay
with
in front
this.
of my brother. So I'm just
Right.
going to be openly shit-faced in front of my brother. And he'll accept that more than he'll accept me being with Charlie in front of him.
Well, yeah. And at first, Nick is, at first he's dancing, he's being silly, but then like Tao and Elle are arguing and he
Classic.
drunkenly interrupts, like, guys, it's just about love. They're like, okay, Nick, not right now.
Yeah.
And then he goes outside and some guy is like kind of trying to flirt with Charlie. Charlie's he's can handle himself, you know, but Nick is like stop flirting with him and
Stop flirting with my boyfriend.
gets weirdly macho. And so Charlie's like, why don't we get you home?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? And David, his brother, sees them and is like, get in the car, you know. He
Right.
takes them home.
Yeah. And as soon as they get home, Nick is vomiting.
Violently ill, yeah.
Just violently vomiting in the bathroom. And Charlie is like, let me help you. And again, this like, I'm not the helpy mentality that Nick has. He like actually yells.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want
need your help.
I don't need your help. Yeah.
Not my Nick.
Right. Well, and then he immediately
Apologizes.
and lets Charlie in because it's like, oh, you realize at that point you're being a little, maybe you're irrational.
Yeah. Ugh, whatever. So like the next day, Nick makes Charlie some apology pancakes, but Charlie like can't eat them.
Yeah, you know, he's just, Charlie, he's only able to eat certain things on certain days. Or like sometimes he's like, I just don't think I can do that right now. And he has to be kind of careful.
Yes. And it's also like an anxiety thing too, right? Because he is stressed out about Nick and about Nick acting a bit irrationally and a bit out of character for what Charlie has always seen of him. And so I think that's also contributing to it here. And I think it extra is apparent that that's not that's the reason he's not hungry when he tries to tell Nick like, hey, like you should open up to me. Like if something's wrong, clearly something's wrong. You got shit-faced last night. So like, tell me what's going on. And they get into like a little tiff about it because again, Nick is just kind of like, I'm not the one who needs help. You're the one with the problems. He doesn't say that, but you know what I mean? It's implied. And so they kind of get into a little fight.
Right. And I think we find out here like Nick, he's not purposely holding something back. He doesn't know what's wrong.
Poor boy.
He doesn't know, he doesn't have the tools to like decipher and process that. So how can he explain it to Charlie? But you also can't just pretend nothing's wrong because that would make someone crazy.
Yeah.
If he's just like, oh, nothing's wrong. It
would be better
like, clearly there is something wrong.
Right. And I think Charlie would have accepted it if Nick was like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure it out. Thank you for being concerned, but like, let's not talk about this right now because I'm in the middle of trying to figure out what it is. So like, I will tell you once I know. How about that? How about we just agree? Once I figure it out, we can talk about it.
I'll get back to you.
Exactly. Let's circle back.
Instead, Charlie, he talks to his therapist and then Nick, instead of therapy, he like gets in a fight at a rugby match because he's like, he's hungover and he's angry. And he gets punched.
You
kind
know?
of fucked
That's
up
how
a little.
fights go. Mhm.
Yeah, but Charlie goes and like sits with him at the hospital until his mom shows up.
His mom, who is not Olivia Colman.
But this actor did, I think, a really great job
No,
of
she
being
did.
like, I need to do this character. I know I'm not Olivia Colman. It's not
But
like the
it's just-
character needs Olivia Colman, but
It doesn't, but at the same time, it's just so funny to me because ever since she left the show, they've been like randomly inserting other like well-known British actors. Like, remember I think it was in the last season.
His aunt.
It was his
Yeah.
aunt who's fucking Peggy from the Avengers, whatever the fuck that actor's name is. And I just found it funny. I was like, Olivia, just come back. You would have worked for what, like 2 days, like doing all the mom parts. Like, it's not that busy, I swear.
Yeah, there was only a couple scenes with her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like talking to his mom here. And then Charlie shows up to Nick's place at some point, and he's all sweet, and he's like, he invites him over, and they have a little, have a little snowball fight on the way there.
Yeah.
And then Charlie brings him in, and he's made a blanket fort to like try to help Nick feel better.
So cute.
That's so sweet.
We love our boys. They're so wholesome. They're so compassionate. Speaking of compassion, Charlie, so earlier, remember, he tried to start a gay club at school and the principal kind of said no. But the teacher, the art teacher, whose name I simply couldn't tell you if I was being paid $1 million right now.
Yeah.
The teacher, I love the teacher. Don't get me wrong. Mr. Whatever his name is, he's great.
Art teacher.
Mr. Art Teacher is great. So they, the teacher is essentially like, you weren't even allowed to come in here during my lunch period. Like, they told me that I was supposed to kick you out, but I didn't because you needed a safe space. So I think you should make a safe space, right? So Charlie sees this little boy who is getting bullied by these other two kids. And Charlie, see, this movie, Charlie, is so different than season 1 Charlie. Because season 1 Charlie was such a like quiet, like, don't look at me, like, I'm not gonna say anything kind of little boy. And now he's like, I'm a senior, I'm a head boy, I'm gonna stop this bullying in its tracks.
Yeah, he's like, hey, you there, stop.
Hey, stop that bullying right now.
Right
and don't
now.
you ever do it again. Don't you ever bully ever again.
Never
And they
bully.
listen.
And they nod at each other like, let's go.
And they never bullied again.
And they never bullied again.
Yeah.
So this is where, Nick starts working with dogs. And so he's at work and it's his and Charlie's like 2-year anniversary. Charlie sets up a little picnic for them out, at the park. But Nick is late because of work and he gets there and Charlie's like freezing cold. And they sort of have this interaction where it's like, you guys can't be like martyring yourselves for each other. Like, this is not, we can't be doing this.
They really are martyring themselves. You're so freaking right.
I know, because I know how my mind works, so I get what they're doing.
100%. And it's like he gets there and like Charlie had set up like little snacks or whatever. And Nick is like, have you eaten? Like, did you eat anything? And he was like, no. And it's like, maybe you should have. Like, they're snacks. Maybe you should have eaten the snacks. And then when Nick got there, there'd be that would be me. I'd be like, oh,
You'd be
sorry,
like,
there are no snacks left because you're late.
Yeah. Should have gotten here for the snacks.
Exactly. But he's like, no, I'm okay. I'm fine. Classic.
I would have been like, I'll just meet you over there. We'll do picnic in the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Bring the picnic to you.
Yeah. Oh, you can pivot, problem solve. So Charlie does have his clandestine secret pride meeting against the school's wishes, and it's great. People show up. At first,
People
they're like,
show up.
no one is showing up, but then people show up. Lots of people.
Yeah. And Charlie does like a little speech about how like he wants this to be a safe space for everybody to like talk about things, and it's really sweet. And also the art teacher, for those who haven't watched the show, the art teacher is also gay and is gay with another one of the teachers whose name Mr.
Teacher.
For something with an F. I know that teacher is like something with an F. I'll look them up later, guys. That's fine. But anyway, because they are in a relationship, which we got to see play out throughout the series. And so they're the ones kind of like hosting. And this part was so funny to me because when that teacher walks in, they're like,
we weren't doing anything.
They're like, no. So they're like, the rumors are true.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, yes, we're together or whatever. It's fine. I'm like, yay. I love it.
It's very good. Okay. things start to get weird. Well, first, Nick's mom has like a birthday thing, and we see David, the brother, the dad is mentioned, and he like kind of talks down about the dad. He's clearly no longer really hero worshiping their dad, and seems like frustrated, and like his mind is changing. Meanwhile, there's another party. The kids are partying again. I don't know what all of these parties are for.
It's senior year, baby. They're partying.
I could not tell you when I did my senior year.
I definitely went to more
It was
parties
sad.
senior year than I did other years. I didn't party often. I don't want that to be misconstrued. But I will say, if I went to like 2 parties junior year, I probably went to like 5 parties senior year. You know what I mean? But yeah, the kids are partying.
They're partying.
It's a vibe.
And so Tao and Elle have broken up again. Like it's, things are tense and people are kind of like, well, a lot of teen relationships don't last. That's just statistically how it is.
Yeah. That's exactly what Nick and Charlie want to hear.
This is what Nick and Charlie have floating around in their minds. Meanwhile, Nick is like, oh my God, like Charlie doesn't need me. I'm in fact holding him back now at this point. And Charlie is like, I don't know how to help Nick the way he helped me. And so all of this is going on inside their heads, and it culminates with them having a conversation that turns into them breaking up in
like,
such
guys.
like a confusing way that I'm like, that's actually relatable, because when conversations get very emotional, it's like, how did we get here?
Yeah, 100%.
What do you mean we're breaking up?
And I think this just goes back to Nick's overall journey in this movie, where he is trying to find himself. Again, he doesn't know who he is. There's a conversation earlier that he has with like his boss at the animal shelter clinic, whatever it is, where like the boss is kind of like a shitty dude. Like previously Nick had mentioned a partner, and so he automatically assumed it was a woman, but then he's also like talking, he's just one of those guys that you're like, I think you hold shitty opinions, so I'm going to say as little around you as possible. So when Nick finally tells him, actually, my partner's a man, like I'm bisexual, the boss ends up asking him like, oh, like tell me about him then. And one of the things Nick says there, which I think is just so indicative, again, of his journey throughout this movie, is that he's probably too good for me. And this is kind of the first time that we're seeing that come from Nick, because, in the earlier seasons of Heartstopper, we definitely saw that from Charlie, right? Because Nick is the popular boy. He plays rugby. He has all these friends. Like all the girls want to date him. Like everyone wants to be around him. And so Charlie had kind of a inferiority complex around it. And he struggled to be like, why does Nick even like want to be in a relationship with me? Like that doesn't make any sense. And so it's kind of flipped here. And I think it's more so to do with Charlie has found himself, right? He has found himself at school. He has found himself in his like anti-bullying campaign and wanting to have like more safe queer spaces and all of this kind of stuff. And Nick is struggling because he hasn't found that yet. So he is kind of taking on this like, oh, he doesn't even want to be with me. Like, why would Charlie want to be with me? He's too good for me. And I hate when my boys are in mental turmoil. I just want them to be happy.
Yeah. Oh, but they're not here, especially because they break up, and you can see how confused Charlie is. And Nick is not like in a good place because he is like, oh, so you want to break up. And then and Charlie's like, do you want to break up?
Yeah.
And so they're both like, clearly neither of them wants to break up.
Neither of them broke up, but yet they broke up.
But they
you know
broke
what
up.
I mean? It's just,
Yeah.
I hate it.
It's also, it was like, Nick's about to leave for college, right? And Charlie's like, oh, you probably want to like hang out with your friends who are going to be also going to college. And Nick is like, why didn't you hang out with me at all tonight? So, yeah.
I hate it.
Of course, things are bad. We see like what happens to Charlie after first. He will not eat, he's struggling, and his parents are trying to help him. And then eventually Tao, Elle, and Isaac come in to help, and they make pasta with him and
They have a sleepover.
I think they watch like Anna Karenina or something.
It's so cute, like genuinely. And because even Charlie's like, wait, I thought you guys broke up. And Ella's like, it's like a ceasefire. Like we're on good terms now so that we can help you, which I love because at the end of the day, they were all friends first. Like regardless of what's going on between Tao and Elle and their relationship, will they, won't they kind of thing. They were all friends. And Charlie is very clearly struggling. He like won't leave his room. He's not eating. So they're just like, nope, we have to band together because that's our guy. And we have to go make him feel better.
Charlie's not going to go to Pride, like the Pride Parade, but Elle is like, listen, my rights are very much under attack right now. Elle, if you haven't seen the show, she's a trans girl, so her rights are very under attack right now. And she's like, it would really mean a lot to me, like, especially at this time, to just, you know, come out to Pride and support. And so he does. He wears a black hoodie, which I think is very funny because that's like very much going to stand out at Pride. And the other thing he's worried about is running into Nick. Right. He's like, Nick will be there. And they all go to a bar after the parade. And guess who he sees?
Who?
It's Nick. Yeah, it's Nick.
Can you imagine if I was just like bullshitting and I haven't watched a single...
I don't know. Wait.
Who did he see?
Tell me.
Tell me right now.
Joe Biden?
What?
Whoa.
Joe Biden at a pride parade in the UK? Love that for him. Yes. So he sees Nick at the club. We also get a little bit of Nick is also having a hard time.
Yes.
You know,
his brother tries to talk to him.
And I do feel a little bit of sympathy or empathy, I guess, for the brother, because it is, they try to make it clear at least, or like it's clear that David sees things a little differently now. Like before, he definitely was like a shithead brother who was like torturing poor Nick and like making him feel worse about the fact that he also likes dudes and like, you know, that kind of thing. And we don't stand that around here, but it's clear that he's trying to navigate some sort of relationship with Nick. He doesn't want them to be strangers. You know, he drives him home when Nick is super drunk. And he's like, better not throw up in my car. But I think that's just him trying to like keep that exterior up a little bit. But at some point, I don't know if it's here, but David is just like, I'm leaving also, by the way. Dad is going to give me a job. And Nick is confused because he's like, I thought you didn't hero worship Dad anymore. And he's just like, got to do things sometimes. Like, it's a job.
Like, you just don't understand. Yeah, he's like, it's more complicated than you think. You see here, like, David's having his own story. I know. He's got his own graphic novel going on.
Yes, he's also bisexual. Oh my God. Wow. Heartstopper 2. Heartstopper Forever 2. 2 hearts, 2 stopped.
2 hearts, they never stop. So we also see that Nick is like, you know, trying to hang out with the friends too. Tara invites him to Pride and he's like, isn't Charlie going to be there? And she like doesn't answer. So this is why he shows up, you know, at the club and he reconnects with Imogen, I think, who's like, I'm a lesbian. Like I found out this whole time. I wasn't able to tell everybody.
Surprise. Yeah, we love to see it.
But yeah. The chronology here, I got a little confused.
It's a little muddy,
happens,
to be fair.
But Charlie is working at like a little cafe, and there's this old gay couple who's like, they're talking about each other's health and stuff. It's super cute. It's
really cute. They're like, you can't have that cake. You're diabetic. And I was like, wait, representation. I'm right here. But she's like, you're not diabetic. You should eat it, which is so real and so fair. And we love to see it. I love when we get these like older gay couples, especially on the show. Like I said, the teachers, I love them. They were like, that was one of my favorite plot lines when that was all developing on the show. In Paris, where it was like, are you two? Oh my God. Yeah, like it's so cute. So I love that Charlie is also getting to see this representation of like an old gay couple. Yeah. Just like just messing with you. Nick, no, you can't have that. Like, you know, really caring about each other, but also doing it in a way that's like cute little like banter back and forth. We love to see it.
We also see Charlie find a camera under his bed. So like throughout this whole thing, earlier in the movie, earlier in the show, Charlie gives Nick a camera to be like, oh, take pictures of us for you to take to Leeds with you. So Nick had been taking pictures this whole time. Charlie finds the camera like under his bed
Yeah.
and gets him the pictures developed, the film. Meanwhile, Nick at work, he notices one of the dogs is like super shy and scared of other dogs. So he like trains Biscuit solo to be less shy, and then Biscuit gets adopted.
It's so fucking cute. I genuinely was like, give me 24 more hours of just this.
Just that, yeah.
I just want to see Nick getting this dog out of his shell.
Like healing dogs.
Healing a dog. It's just so good. Genuinely, I'm like, get out of here. And you can tell he's just like so proud of himself. He's like, I did that. Like, I helped this dog, and now he has a family. Like, he feels so accomplished.
That's it. His mom notices. She's like, you seem like you're in a, good mood. And he tells her about the dog, and she's like, I knew you would be good at that. And they end up having this heart to heart, he and his mom, where
Classic.
Nick, this is where he talks about how because of the way his dad was, he got so used to just having a smile on all the time. And that has made it very difficult for him to decipher what he's feeling in any given moment. And his mom is like, well, first of all, hey, sorry, my bad
for marrying that fucking piece of shit.
She's basically like, what you have just said is more, self-reflection than a lot of people get in their entire lives. And I wish I had better understood myself and your father and our relationship so that you didn't, have to do that.
Yeah.
But like, we all understand it so much better now. And she's very proud of him and tells him it is not too late for him and Charlie.
Yeah. I think any recovering people pleaser will really like this conversation between Nick and his mom, because I think it is, they're so young still, right? Like, they're not even 18, or they are 18, like freshly 18. And, with that comes a lot of highs, right? You have like your first loves and, these relationships and your friends, and you feel like you're going to live forever. And, like there's nothing bad could ever happen. But at the same time, for some people, there's also this like crippling anxiety of like, why haven't I figured out who I am yet? And like, why don't I know what to say about myself? Like, dude, I'm 35 and I still don't fucking know sometimes, where I'm like, who am I? If I had to write a personal statement, get the fuck out of here. No, I simply wouldn't, because I can't, And so I do think that idea that Nick kind of tells his mom of like, I just kept a smile because that's what dad, wanted me to do. And I just let things roll off my back because I don't want to cause problems and all that stuff is like very relatable for our little Nicky boy over here. And it's just like, again, this is why the show is so good, because it's not just like, yes, it's a show about queer representation and these relationships at different facets, like the different facets of all these relationships. But at the core of it, it is just about people. It's about like the human existence and like how we all struggle with different things. And that doesn't make us any less lovable. It doesn't make us, unworthy. So I love Nick. I just want to...
it makes us even better at passing on the good qualities of life.
100%.
Such good stuff.
Yeah.
I think this show is really nice, and it is like what the far right is afraid of. Like, this is the future they're afraid, which is very funny to me because
what
like,
a beautiful future.
So scary.
Yeah. Oh my God, love and understanding. No, help.
No.
Get it out of here. Yeah.
So Nick gets a little case of photos, or Charlie. Okay, first, sorry.
Rewind.
Charlie goes with Tori, his sister, to watch her boyfriend, Michael, practice for like speed ice skating in the Olympics.
Which is what a freaking side quest for Michael.
Right.
I just have to say, I love Tori and Michael, and the fact that he's like, yeah, I'm going to be a speed skater in the Olympics. I'm like, you know what? Fuck yeah, you are.
Spoiler alert, he gets in.
He does.
So
proud.
Charlie like is like, oh yeah, you guys are great for a straight couple, and Tori's like, wait a second. First of all,
She's like,
first of all, Michael's not straight. Second of all, I'm asexual, and he's like, well, she's like, I thought I told you that. Which for me, I'm like, I also thought the character had revealed that information.
so
it seems kind of clear.
but isn't the other friend also asexual, or at least on the
Isaac? I think
Isaac is on the that spectrum of asexuality. So maybe we're like, we remember him. We definitely remember he had a plot
yeah.
line. Isaac for sure had a plot line where he's like, I think I'm realizing something.
Yes.
But I thought it was kind of obvious.
Right. And so,
personally, yeah.
But she kind of talks about how, like, you know, she and Michael have a relationship that, of course, it's different from like what other people would consider a relationship, but that's just how love is. That's how it works. They're Tori and Michael. They work, you know? So Charlie is inspired, I guess, or full. I mean, I feel like he was always going to do this, but
this was the last like push he needed.
Yes. He takes those pictures he develops and drops them off at Nick's with a little note saying to meet him at the beach. Nick gets them like just in time.
Yeah.
After talking with his mom, and like rushes over there. And they reconnect, and they're like, I missed you. It's like, okay.
And we're back, baby.
They're so back because, like, all of this whole time, every time they talk to their friends, they're like, we know, like, the statistics and stuff, but, like, that, like, we weren't talking about, like, you guys. Like, you guys are clearly meant to be together.
Yeah. You guys are perfect for each other.
So
you deserve each other. You and Nick. Yeah. So they're back together. They have sex again, which I fast forwarded through. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I don't need this. I don't need this.
It did go on for too long. There was definitely, I was like multiple times like, okay, and it's gonna fade to black now. It didn't.
And it didn't. Yeah.
So they show up together to like the graduation, and all the friends are like, yeah, Nick and Charlie, they fixed it.
They're in love. Yeah.
And then we get kind of like the ending sort of, because at this graduation thing, we see Tao and Elle kind of have their last dance because they are certain, you know, Tao has to do what he has to do. Elle's going to go to Berlin to be an artist. So it's not working. And Nick is like they're talking about it, and Tao is like, you know what? It's not as sad as you think it is, because we'll always love each other and like be in each other's lives, even if the relationships don't look the same. Like, I know she's always out there, and we've always had this connection that we have. So it's like, he's kind of saying like he's not hopeless about it.
Yeah. And I think that's such a beautiful sentiment too, because I do think like when you're young, relationships feel like all or nothing. Like we are either madly in love or it ends in destruction and we are ruined and, you know, unhappy for the rest of our lives. But I do think that's such a great way to look at just love and relationships in general, of being, you know, no love is wasted. When you're giving your heart to someone, especially someone like they were best friends, like, and they still are, but like Tao and Elle were best friends first, and they made a very conscious choice to like try this and to be in a relationship and to have romantic feelings for each other. And that's never going to be a waste, even if it doesn't end the way that you even if it ends at all, I guess I should say. And I think Tao, Shelby, you remember, I didn't fucking like Tao in the beginning.
No.
I thought he was so fucking annoying, and I was like, get this guy off my screen.
And we were
and then
like,
he got his haircut. And I was like, wait, Tao,
he's
I
handsome.
love you. He's handsome now, so now I obviously have more empathy for him. And no, I do think that Tao is probably one of the most like wise characters on the show, because he has a very like realistic but not pessimistic view of love and relationships. And I think that is something you don't really get to see on screen very often. You know, it's always the person who's like the really big relationship pessimist, and that's who he was at the beginning, and that's why I didn't fucking like his ass. But no, he's very like wise and aged, you know, like he's got this sense about him now that he's like, and I do think like, I'm like, no, Tao knows that they're going to get back together one day. Like
Yeah.
Right time, right place. Like, we'll be
Right.
back.
The problem is that they're separated. If they were just together, it'd be fine. But they're not because...
That is their only issue.
Right.
That's why they fight.
They can't compromise on that because it has to do with, like, literally the important things in their lives. Like, Elle is like, I want to be an artist. Like, it's just, like, really important passions that you have to go live out. Because if you don't, like, you're gonna stew in that forever.
There's resentment, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're putting that relationship, especially when you're this young, right?
Yeah.
Like I think, you know, as you get older, there are compromises to be had in relationships when it comes to like where you live, you know, or like, you know, certain things like that. But when you're this young, it's like, no, you guys got to go out and do that thing. You have to do the thing that you want to do because this is the time. Like, this is the prime time to do it. So yeah, I think if you feel kind of like caged in by a relationship because you're choosing the relationship over your own dreams and ambitions, yeah, it'll turn into resentment and you'll end up hating that person. It's like, no, you gotta go with where your passions are, and if it's meant to be, it'll work itself out eventually.
Yeah, there are many different ways your life can take, and nothing's really set in stone. It's all about the choices you make every day, which is another thing, you know, Nick's mom says to him that love is a choice you make over and over again every day. And that's what he and Charlie do. So at this party, they go to the ballroom where they had their first kiss. And they just talk about the future, which is both like earlier in the movie, Charlie had been talking about like what they were going to do in the future. And then he also made this comment that before Nick, he hadn't really thought about the future. He was just kind of in survival mode. But like Nick, and the way he described it, he's like, Nick is always thinking about the future like he's trying to avoid some catastrophe that hasn't happened yet. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, obviously you have to avoid the catastrophes that haven't happened yet.
Yeah, obviously.
Obviously.
Duh.
But you have to think about everything.
All the people with anxiety, raise your hand. Anyone who suffers from a chronic anxious, condition, raise your hand. We're all here. Yeah, but the talk is really cute. They sit in like the same spot that they sat in when they first kissed. And obviously the boys are doing much better now, right? They're not... Nick is doing better. I think ever since that conversation with his mom, he feels a little bit more sure of himself or he's more sure in the fact that even if he still doesn't know who he is, he will find out. And he will discover that about himself. So he's less worried that he's not like
doomed to fail.
Exactly.
You know? So after this, we get a little epilogue. Everyone's doing the things they said they were going to do. Like Tara and Darcy go on their interrailing expedition.
Your favorite word.
I know. Sahar becomes like a solo artist. She's doing music. And Elle is in Berlin showing her art. And someone's like, oh, I love this one. It's got such energy to it. It's a painting of Tao.
Obviously.
And then, who walks in through the door? My God, it's Tao. And they turn and they look at each other. And wow.
Those two
together
are
again.
Get married one day. And I love it. I just love that. Isaac is like writing his book, which he said he was going to do. And Charlie's like, don't forget to put me in the dedication. You know, like just very, very sweet. Yeah, like I said, no matter what, this show always gives you like positive feelings and good vibes. And it always ends in this very like hopeful way of, yeah, maybe these characters will go through trials and tribulations. Maybe everything won't be all sunshine and rainbows. But at the end of the day, they will find their way and they will be happier at the end of it.
Yeah, it's a very hopeful show, which I think is one of the things we need in this world. Good to have hope. It's the only thing that we can use to fight despair. So really need it.
Yeah.
What age would you most like this movie?
I was thinking about this. I do think that it would have to be... I'd have to be the target demo, which is probably like 18 to 22.
Yeah.
I still don't think I would like the sex, though. I hate to keep bringing this up.
Yeah.
But the show, it's... Sex doesn't exist in the show. That's not true. I know that's not true. There's a whole subplot of like Tao and Elle having sex for the first time and all of this stuff. And I know that's not true, but like we don't need to witness it. And I'm so curious why they put it in the movie. Like I don't know if they were like, well, heated rivalry is having a moment. Like we also need to capitalize on
That's
boys
crazy.
having sex. I don't know, but that's kind of what it feels like. Do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel like I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it was made in like, yes, we definitely think we need to see Charlie and Nick having sex. Like it is pivotal to these characters to watch them have sex in this movie. I'm
in like
no.
different positions and stuff. It's wild.
I simply don't need it.
It is not like what we signed up for.
No, it
Early
really
on.
isn't. It's like, yeah, they, and there was, I don't know if you also felt this way, but especially in the beginning, there was this feeling that I had that they were using sex to mask like actually all of like their own internal problems because there were so many scenes.
Yeah, Nick definitely did. Like whenever he was feeling something intensely,
He was like, let's have
he
sex.
would be like, let's have sex, which I think is like a lot of people do have that
of course
relationship.
And I think that
between those
makes so
feelings.
much sense. But again, I just don't need to see it.
Right. We could just see them kissing and then it fades to black.
And then we see
like,
after.
Listen, a fade to black would like it just works so good in this show in the tone. Yeah, I agree with you. It did pull me out of it for the
A
second
show with like cartoon hearts and like little leaves and stuff does not need to have sex scenes.
Yeah, but also these kids fuck.
Listen, kids have sex. I understand. Okay. But I just don't need to witness it.
Right. That's on like Euphoria. We're not watching that.
What age do you think you would have liked this movie the most?
I would say, so yeah, like, 16 is of course, I wish I had this at like 6, maybe younger, 15, 16 would be a good time to have it. But also I kind of like having experienced Heartstopper as an adult and being able to
it
get,
is kind of fun, right?
this out of it. So in the way the game works of like what age would I most like it, I'm gonna go 16.
Yeah,
but
no, I agree. But experiencing it now, especially talking about it with you, oh my god,
I know,
has been great because I do think that like every time we talk about the show and now the movie is just like you can tell that we're just having so much fun and that like we feel like so many good feelings when we're talking about these characters. Like I genuinely feel protective over these people like they're real and I would fight for them. I fight for them and I fight for their rights, even though they're fake. And I
their
really
rights
like
are
it.
fake.
No, you're fake. No, stop trying to cancel me, Shelby. Stop.
Known
They're not-
homophobe. No, I'm just kidding.
Sam Frontera, yeah,
It's
totally.
Sam Frontera. Yes. So it is special. I think the show is special in its way. It's a special
And it's nice
show.
too in a world where like the most popular shows are shows where like, like I'm thinking Game of Thrones, people are dying, or Euphoria, people are on drugs and dying, or, like all these shows where people are just like dying. I'm like, no, this is like, it's heartfelt. It's still real. Like, even if you want to say
People
like, oh,
have
that's not
problems.
realistic.
Yeah.
People have problems, but there's just this sense of like, we can all get through it together. And I think that's what's missing from the world. We need to like tie up the Trump administration and like just make them watch this show. Like tie them up, do those little thingies on their eyes so they can't close their eyes.
They're like, no,
Love and affection, Hope Corps, we can't do it. Yeah. But we would force them on repeat.
They're like, give us more of that dog kennel guy talking about scooping up shit.
Or the brother when he's a dickhead. Yeah. Yeah, that would be their favorite character, probably.
Well, that was it. Heartstopper Forever. And now we're done talking about it forever. No. And I'm excited to see what like Kit Connor and Joe Locke do next.
Well, Joe Locke was on that Disney Plus show, the Agatha.
He was on
along.
Agatha all along. He was.
I think he's coming out in something soon too. So we're definitely going to see more of them. And Kit Connor was on Broadway for a bit. So
good for him.
He was being Romeo to Rachel Zegler's Juliet.
That's cool.
I love them.
Good job. Good job, boys.
Good job, boys.
Well, Oh, we should thank our $10 patrons.
Yes.
That's what we do at the end of the show.
We forgot.
Big shout out to the $10 patrons. Catherine W., shout out to you. Nicole J. Darling, homebody.com, shout out to you. Thank you so much for your love and support, much like Charlie's friends loving and supporting him through his head boy campaign.
Yes. And just like Charlie, remember to keep falling in love
With yourselves.
Bye.
If you'd like to find the Rom Complex on social media, head on over to Instagram or TikTok at The Rom Complex.
You can also find us on our website, theromcomplex.com, where you can have access to all of our latest episodes and links to our social media pages, as well as Patreon.
That's right. Our Patreon is at patreon.com/theromcomplex. Head over there and you can sign up for any tier and gain access to mini episodes, tarot readings, watch-alongs, and more. And of course, if you're a $10 patron, we will shout you out on every episode. Thanks for listening.